Now, former Eskom executive Matshela Koko and 7 other people have appeared before the Middleburg Magistrates Court in Mpumalanga today. They are all facing fraud, corruption and money laundering charges linked to a 2.2 billion rand Kusile power station contract. The accused were arrested in Gauteng and Mpumalanga this morning. The NPA says the suspects were expected to appear this afternoon, and that has happened. We saw Aviwe Mtila in court just now. Those are the live visuals. You'll see Mr. Matshela Koko there perusing a document in front of him. Let's speak to Aviwe Mtila now. Good afternoon, Aviwe. What's happened in court so far, in which the former Eskom boss, Matshela Koko, is appeared on corruption charges, and I understand his wife, Musima, and his stepdaughter, Koketso Choma, are also among those who are in court this afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bradan, and you can see Matshela Koko on shot right now, together along with 7 other accused. They've just made their appearance here before a short adjournment by the magistrate Dion van Rooyen. But of course, it is the official bail application that we're expecting here. Matshela Koko appears alongside the former Local Government Association Chief Executive Thabo Mokoena, appears alongside his wife as well, Musima Koko, and Koko's stepdaughters, Koketso Arena and Tato Choma. I just want to get now just the insight from the NPA investigating directorate, Cindy Saboka, just to understand more clearly what they're here for. Cindy, we understand they face corruption, fraud and money laundering charges. Must give us the details to exactly why they're here.
I think for starters, let's be cognizant that now the bail hearing is going to be heard, where we are going to then hear what the merits of the various accused are. They're going to state what their personal circumstances are, and then it's for the court to then decide if bail will or will not be granted. What we must also state is that some are here for Schedule 5 offences and others are here for Schedule 1 offences. So the magistrate has taken a short adjournment to consider a few aspects, but the formal bail hearing will be heard now, and then we'll be able to take the matter forward.
Now I think we can speak more frankly on the actual charges. What are they accused of doing? We do know it's related to 2.2 billion irregular contracts back from, I understand, 2015 in the Kusile power station. Maybe give us details to why they're here in court.
So basically the reason that the accused are here in court is based on the 2.2 billion Eskom Kusile matter. It's also based on various other bartering systems. So we're alleging that took place where various other companies were used. We're alleging that the money was then siphoned off to benefit the Koko family, but details of that will be made known as and when the case proceeds.
All right. How was it benefiting? Maybe just details on how the family was benefiting. We know Koko has been an acting CEO at Eskom. We've got the wife here. We've got 2 stepdaughters.
So basically what we're going to allege, there's a charge sheet that has actually, a draft charge sheet that has actually been provided to the court. It will also be made available to the accused for them to also know what it is that they stand charged of. But in essence, without getting too much into the details, it pertains to how we are alleging that a portion of some of the money that were used for the procurement, or basically of a 2.2 billion rand project, was then siphoned off to benefit, we're alleging Mr. Koko as well as some of his family relatives. The reason that there's another particular person here, which is his former attorney or current attorney, is because we're alleging that specific shelf companies were created in order to then launder the money. But without getting too much into it, we're still at the first phase of bail hearing. Let's hear what happens.
Okay, thank you very much. Since Saboka from the NPA there, I'm not sure how allowed we are in the court processes themselves, but I see Mr. Koko there is still busy with the attorney. I would actually like to sneak in my microphone there, maybe once they're done, but we do understand, of course, he is here alongside his wife, Musima Koko, and 2 stepdaughters. I don't know if we can get a quick word with Mr. Koko.
You only speak to somebody in the dock, do you?
Okay, we're told we don't speak to him in the dock there. But of course, shorter postponement here, where we're expecting then the magistrate Dion van Rooyen to head back into court, then where we'll hear the official bail application. Bradan?
Yeah, and that NPA spokesperson you were talking to just now says one of the people who's there is a lawyer of Matshela Koko, and they are being accused of creating shelf companies to which the money was allegedly disseminated to. So it's 8 people in total. Matshela Koko and Mr. Mukwena, as you've said, plus the lawyer there, plus the 2 stepdaughters. When do we expect the bail application to begin? How long is the adjournment? Do you have an idea, Aviwe?
Well, the magistrate just adjourned quite briefly, saying that he needed to sort out things at the back, but the bail application already was starting to be underway here. We do know the others that are in the dock are the Eskom project director at Kusile, the most senior on site, that's Hlupheka Sithole, as well as the lawyer that we mentioned, Johannes Kotsia and Watson Seswai. Some of those 8, in fact, that are on the dock. We know, of course, Matshela Koko, the former executive at Eskom, his wife Mosima Koko, and Koko's stepdaughters Koketso Aren, as well as Tato Choma. Some of those that my colleague Teddy Mnyeman is showing you currently now on the dock, of course, facing those charges of corruption, fraud, money laundering. So far we've heard that accused 3, 6, 11 and 13 face Schedule 1 offences, which the state is proposing that 100,000, I beg your pardon, rand bail be stated there, and state saying that it does not oppose bail at the state. But of course, some of those that will hear then when the magistrate gets back here as the official bail application is underway. But we heard that the state does not oppose bail to some of the accused here. We'll hear then what the state's position is in the remaining accused here.
Yeah, and let's just remind our viewers, while we are connected with you there in the Middleburg Magistrates Court, that Koko was implicated in the state capture report. That's in state capture, rather, in the Zondo Commission's report, with Chief Justice Raymond Zondo having urged that Koko and the former Eskom Chief Financial Officer Anoj Singh should face criminal charges for paving the way for the Gupta family to purchase Optimum coal mine using Eskom money. So there is that matter as well that has come up with Mr. Koko's name having come out in that report, and now the NPA moving on this matter, arresting them today, and now they are in court applying for bail.
There is that matter as well, Brian, and oddly enough that you mentioned the state capture report, this matter in itself is not in that 6-part official report that was handed over to President Cyril Ramaphosa. But when I caught up with the NPA investigating directorate earlier on, they do mention that this was part of state capture, as much as it wasn't looked into by the official commission, which we do understand spanned at least some 4 years, delving into what we now know as state capture, hearing even President Cyril Ramaphosa just on Sunday mentioning that indeed there was state capture, but this particular matter that's in the Middleburg Magistrate Court wasn't part of that. We do know the matters that have been involved, or of course when it comes to Eskom, are those matters that involve Trillion as well as Regiment's Capital. You also mentioned just Optimum Mile. Some of those that we have come to know in that 6-part report that delved into state capture, mentioning that Matshela Koko, Anoj Singh and Brian Molefe need to answer in court. But this particular matter was not in that report, Badan, so only time will tell what next then will happen when it comes to the actual information that we do know happened according to the state capture report.